Okay, Bismillah Rahim, Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala Rasul Kareem. We are discussing the chapter of Babu Maridi, the chapter of the Salat of a sick person. So now we mentioned to you that you can see from this, from an Islamic point of view, that if you are unable to stand and read Salah, you must sit. If you are unable to sit, you must lay. If you are unable to lay, you must read on your back, you must lay on your side, and you must move your head. And you can see that this shows you, this underscores the importance of Salah. Because you don't simply leave out your Salah. So this is something that we need to speak about. This is not something we need to conscientize the people. That's why it comes in a hadith. Man فاتته صلاة واحد كأنما وتر أهله وماله. That person who wants Salah is Muslim. And also if you look at the words, it doesn't say he missed the Salah, but rather Salah missed him. In other words, due to circumstances beyond his control, he missed the Salah. The loss is greater than losing your whole family and all your wealth, because your family, your wealth, etc., is a temporal loss. It's only a loss in the dunya. But losing a Salah, that is leaving out not only for Salah, for example, any first act. Like even it comes in a hadith also that if you miss your one fast in the month of Ramadan, you miss one, you nafil fast for the rest of your life. You won't make up for that. You won't make up. So then we need to explain to the people, as ulama, as alimat, you need to explain to them the importance of the salah, not simply missing it out, right? So we're saying this here, we'll start from here. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وإن لم يستطيع القعود استلقى على ظهره وجعل رجليه للقبلة وأومأ بالركوع والسجود لقوله السلام يصلي المريض قائما. If he's not unable, وإن لم يستطيع القعود, he's not able to sit and read. استلقى على ظهره. استلقى على ظهره means, I told you yesterday, it means where you lay on your back. Means you lay on your nape. The nape is the back of your neck, right? وجعل رجليه القبلة. He'll face his feet towards the qibla. وأومأ بالركوع, and he will indicate with the ruku wa sujood liqawli as-salam, because of the statement of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yusalli al-marid qa'iman, that a sick person he will restrain him. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَقَائِدًا, if he can and he's sitting. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَعَلَى قَفَاهُ, if he can't, then on his nape, يومي إيماء, indicating فإن لم يستطع فالله تعالى حق بقلوب العذر منه. And then if he's still unable to read, he can't even lay and read, then Allah Ta'ala is more worthy for accepting his excuse. So remember I told you here that if you miss 6 salah and more, then because you're unable to read, then according to some ulama there, then it's waived off from. So that means whether, if it's 5 and lesser, then you have to make qadha. So if we say, look at the making qadha, means Allah Ta'ala will accept his excuse for making qadha. And if we say 6 and more is waived off completely, then we'll say that Allah Ta'ala will accept his excuse for not reading his salah at all, right? Read the next ibadah. I think the new lesson starts here, right?
أو ما أجاز ما روينا من قبل إلا أن الأولى عندنا.
Oh, okay. It is a ibadah missing from minds here. So in istalqa ala jambihi. So now maybe sometimes you can't even lay on your back. Allah Ta'ala protect us. Maybe your back is sore. Well, I forgot one thing to tell you. Yeah, in this previous ibadah, we said you must lay on your back. It's mentioned in the Shara, Sahibul Inayah is also a Sharia, the commentary of Hidayah Sharif. I got that commentary by the house also. I can bring it for you if you read it, but I know you won't read it. So I won't bring it. There is mentioned, Sahib Inayah say, when a person lays on his back, it's better to put some pillows underneath him. It's better to pull. So if you pull up with pillows, then it's easy to move your head. Laying flat on how you're going to move your head. You understand what I'm saying? It's more difficult. So if you are propped up with pillows, you got some pillows, or like nowadays, Allah Ta'ala protect, in the hospital, you got the hospital bed. You can lift the back up like that. You ever saw that? So now it's easy to make Allah Ta'ala protect us from those situations. So even if you got like the bed, you can lift it up. Or if you don't have the bed that you can lift up, but you just prop a person up with pillows, and then they can read his salah, right? So I was just checking also, this is not mentioned in the text here, but I was checking this masla about al-qadir bil-khair, al-qadiru bil-khair, that person, he can't, you asked me the question yesterday about your granny that was sick, that she can't, so I checked up and I asked on the MUFTI's chat just to to expedite the process. If a person is unable to face the Qibla themselves, or they are unable to make wudu themselves, but there is somebody that they can ask to do it, then they have to ask them. That's, I can read the text out for you. I'll read it to you privately. So there's a masal. It's called like this. You know, like certain famous Messiah. You've got certain famous names. This is like how you get the masal. المفترض خلف المتنفل القراءة بالجهر رفع اليدين. This is masal القادر بالغير. When you are not able to do something yourself, but you got somebody else to help you, and that person will help you, then you have to do it. So for now, just understand like this for this masla, that if a person has got somebody to face him to the Qibla, or he's got somebody to make the wudu for him, he will have to make wudu. I will check up more, and if I get more details, I'll share it with you. But at this point in time, that is my finding. If you can, it is called al-qadiru bil ghayr. If somebody else is there to help you, then you'll have to take the help from that person, right? So now, so I was telling you, for this sitting, laying on your back, you can be propped up. It will be easier. It's mentioned in the Shara. Now, what I tell you, istalqa itself gives the meaning of laying on your back, right? But here you see, when it's qualified with jambi, it means you're laying on your side. So imagine now, still with your feet facing towards the Qibla, and you're laying on your side, right, on your right side. So when istalqa ala jambihi wa wajhuhu ila al-qiblati, and his face is towards the Qibla, right? Jaza, that will also be permissible. Lima rawayna min qabla. So this is another scenario. You're laying on your side, you're laying on your right. So basically, the breadth of your body is facing the Qibla, right? وَإِنِ اسْتَلْقَى عَلَى جَنْبِهِ, he's laying on his side. وَوَجْهُهُ إِلَى الْقِبْلَةِ, and his face is towards the Qibla. جَازَ لِمَا رَوَيْنَا. But إِلَّا أَنَّ الْأُولَى هُوَ الْأَوْلَى إِنْدَنَا. But the al-ula, the first one, which you saying where you lay on your back, but the أَنَّ الْأُولَى هُوَ الْأَوْلَى إِنْدَنَا, that is better according to us. خلافا للشافعي, contrary to Imam Shafi. Imam Shafi says the second scenario where you lay on your side is better, right? لأن إشارة المستلقي إلى هواء الكعبة. They say, look here, when you lay on your back, then and you are propped up and you raise, then you will be facing the Qibla. Even if you're not facing the Qibla, then you're facing the atmosphere above the Qibla. So that is better. لأن إشارة المستلقي تقع إلى هواء وإشارة المضطجع على جنبه إلى جنب قدميه. If you are laying on your side, for example, and you are and your feet is facing the Qibla, like how it says here, جعل ظهر وجعل رجلي القبلة وأومى بركوع. That means first you're making Qibla towards your feet, and then you're making Qibla, then you're facing towards the Qibla. That's what he's saying. So it's better to go directly. وإشارة المضطجع على جنب إلى جنب بقدميه, right? وبه you got to تتعدى الصلاة وبه, and like this your salat will be discharged. In other words, this is the way now you will discharge your salat. Yeah, so that's what wabi refers to this. To the better one is where you're laying on your back. So be refers to back. So laying on your back, that will be the better way to discharge your salah, right? Okay, read the next text.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فإن لم يستطيع الإجماع فأتيه أخرت الصلاة عنه ولا بعينه ولا بقلبه ولا بين خلافا لزفر رحمه الله ما روينا فقط. ولأن
نصب الأبدال Okay, I'll stop there. So I will explain you first what is being said there, and then I'll read the text. What he's saying there is, now see, I told you this mention, if you are unable to move your head and read with your head, then that is the last point. Now, salah will be marked for you for that moment, right? If it is 5 and lesser, you will read it at a later stage. If it is more than that, okay, the explanation is coming later. But the main thing for this time, it is maaf. You will not read salah by moving your eyes. Eyes ruku, eyes is in sajda, eyes in tashahhud. No. Or neither with your eyebrows also. You won't do it. Why? Because that's not proven from the hadith. And he's saying, yes, substitutes has to be proven from a hadith. Substitute cannot come according to your own logic. You can't say, oh, this is what Sharia said, so I can't do this, so I'm going to do this here as a substitute. Like simple example, you can't say like this here, oh, Hajj has gone very expensive. I can't afford to go all the way to Hajj. Okay, we're going to bala Kaaba here in Kapi and we're going to make tawaf over there. That's in the kitab there. You can't come with your own substitute. You can't come with your own substitute. I'll show you the substitute is what the Sharia. So he says, فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعِ الْإِمَاءَ. The person, the imam in this context is referred to the moving of the head, right? فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعِ الْإِمَاءَ. If he is unable to make imam برأسه with his head, أُخِّرَتِ الصَّلَاةُ عَنْهُ. Now you will delay the salah. And unanimously, if it is 5 salah and lesser, you will delay it, right? That means when you are not able, you will read again. وَلَا يُومِي بِأَيْنَيْهِ. You will not indicate with your eyes like that, right? Ruku, sajda, right? وَلَا بِقَلْبِ. Or not his heart, like you say, okay, your heart is now in qiyam, your heart is in ruku, no, right? وَلَا بِحَاجِبَيْهِ. And neither will you indicate with your eyebrows. خِلَافًا لِزُفَرَ. Contrary to Imam Zufar. So that shows you that according to Imam Zufar, you can read with the eyes, the eyebrows, etc. Lima rawayna min qab, because of what we narrated. See what he's saying. Remember this hadith we narrated in the beginning there, which he says there, Nabi Sallallahu said, yes, لقول عليه السلام لعمران بن حسين صلي قائما فإن لم يستطع فقائلا فإن لم يستطع فعلى الجنب تومي إيمان. Right. So there Nabi Sallallahu only spoke about Iman. Nabi Sallallahu never speaks beyond that. The Nabi Sallallahu never say anything beyond that. So you can't add your own things, right? So it's now see there, let's see, right? So وَلِأَنَّ نَصْبَ الْأَبْدَالِ بِرَأْيِ مُمْتَنِعٌ. I tell you, because nasba, putting in a replacement بِرَأْيِ, with your own opinion, مُمْتَنِعٌ, it is forbidden. You can't put your own substitute in, right? Then وَلَا قِيَاسَ عَلَى رَأْسِ. Then he's saying also, look here, the next ibarat, also interesting ibarat. I'll explain it to you first and I'll say, they say, look here, if you look at your salah, normally the head is used in salah. You use your head. I mean, you make salam with your head, you make ruku with your head, you make sajda with your head, you make etc., etc., you make with your head. So it is one of those limbs that are used in salah. It is from the limbs that are used in salah. If you look at your eyes, you look at your eyebrows, look at your heart, they are not from amongst the limbs of salah. So it doesn't make sense that you can substitute a non-salat limb with a salat limb. That's what I'm saying. So the head is used, so that's why to make imam will be correct. But the eyebrows, the eyes, that is not used in salah. So you can't use that. They're saying, وَلَا قِيَاسَ عَلَى رَأْسِ. There's no qiyas, no comparison to the head. Why? لِأَنَّهُ يُتَعَدَّى بِهِ رُكْنُ الصَّلَاةِ. Because لِأَنَّهُ so this is وَلَا قِيَاسَ عَلَى رَأْسِ. It means the eyebrows, the eyes cannot be compared to the head. لأنه, because يعني who refers to the head. يتعدى به ركن الصلاة. That an integral component of the salat. يتعدى به is the charge of it. But دون العين, not with the eyes. وأختيه, and his 2 sisters. What the sisters mean the heart and the eyebrows. So you understood that, right? So the head is something which is used in salat. Hence we can say, now make ishara with your head. But the eyebrows, the heart is not used, right? So you can't compare to that, right? Then he's saying, yes, I'm saying, وَقَوْلُ أُخِّرَتْ أَنْهُ إِشَارَةٌ أَنَّهُ لَا تَسْقُطُ الصَّلَاةُ عَنْهُ. So here, if you look at the original text of Kuduri, whatever the overline text, it says, أُخِّرَتْ. It doesn't say سَقَطَتْ. The salah doesn't drop off. It's just get delayed. When you are better now, when you're able to read with your head or with your full body, you must read it. So he's saying, وَقَوْلُ أُخِّرَتْ أَنْهُ إِشَارَةٌ إِلَى أَنَّهُ لَا تَسْقُطُ الصَّلَاةُ عَنْهُ. Now, وَإِنْ كَانَ الْإِجْزُ أَكْثَرَ مِنْ يَوْمٍ وَلَيْلَةٍ إِذَا كَانَ مُفِيقًا وَهُوَ الصَّحِيحُ. Okay, interesting. What I'll explain is this here. One is, this is a masla here. Understand this masla firstly. If you are unconscious, like you got sick, you were comatose, you got in an accident, Allah Ta'ala protect us, you got in a stroke. There's an important masla for everybody. You must listen to this masla nicely. Understand this masla. you lost your mind, you were unconscious. If it was for 5 salah and lesser, if it is 5 salah and lesser, when you come better, you must make qadha, right? That's it. If you were unconscious for 6 salah and more, that means that we discussed this, the time of the 6 salah came out, right? So it is 6 salah came out and another salah, then there's no qadha for you. You don't have to. This is when you're unconscious. Are you with me? Right. So that's no ikhtilaf, there's nothing, you understood that. Now, coming back to the kitab, if you were unable to read your salah, but you were conscious, listen nicely. When we say you're unable to read salah, that means you couldn't move your head. Maybe you were so sick, Allah protect us. Maybe you are in, they call it traction. I think we said Allah protects you in the hospital. The hands are tied up, the feet are tied up, the head is Allah protect us from that. So there you can't move your head, but you are conscious, you know what is happening around you. So according to what is mentioned in Hidayah Sharif here, if you are conscious, you are not mad, you're not unconscious, you're not sleeping, but you are conscious, right? Then even if you miss 6 salat or more, if it's lesser than 5, that's unanimous, you have to make qadha. But even if it's 6 salat and more, still you have to make qadha. But that is mentioned in Hidayah, right? Let's see, I'll show you. Look at it again. So remember, I told you, it says, put the unconscious masla aside. That we know 6 salat and more you're unconscious, the salat drops off. In fact, that will also come later in the chapter, in some of the kitab. But I need to explain this to you so you understand this text. So according to Sahib Hidayah, if you are 6 salat and more, you cannot make ima. That's what we discussed. You can't move your head. Then, but because you are conscious with the word is mufiq, then you still have to make qadha. Follow now, see. وَإِنْ كَانَ الْإِجْزُ, if the inability to read salah, and here ijz refers to what? Adamul ima, right? Akthara min yawm, it was more than a day and a night. And remember, we told you this in the matter of tayt. What is akthar? Kasrat is when there's repetition. And repetition is when you repeat one salah, you must 2 fajrs, 10. And that is when the coming out of the time. So now, according to Sahib Hidayah, even though you must 6 or more, which is kathir, but you are conscious, you'll have to make qadha of everything, right? So you say, right, so إذا كان, so you're saying, وإن كان, so you will still make, see, you will still لا تسقط الصلاة عنه. Salat will not drop off from him. In كان الإجز أكثر, even though the inability was أكثر, more than يوم ولا a day and a night, right? This is إذا كان مفيقا, when he was conscious, right? What was sahih, and that is the preferred. So you understood now what Sahib Hidayah is saying? Sahib Hidayah is saying that whether it is 5 or lesser, or whether it is 6 or more, and you are unable to make ima, but you had presence of mind, you have to make qadha of it when you become better, right? That was Sahib Hidayah saying. But I see in the Shara, here in the Shara they say no, the fatwa is not on Sahib Hidayah's call. The fatwa is same like the unconscious masla. If you are unconscious for 6 salat and more, the qadha drops off. It is mentioned in the Shara. I need to check up more. I'll check up more. That she must remind me. It says that the fatwa is not on this. So it's important for you to know what Sahib Hidayah is saying, and also important to know what the fatwa is. So here Sahib Hidayah is saying, no, if it's 6 and more, this is not like the unconscious masla. You have to make qadha. But as I said in the Shara, it says, if it is 6 and more, then it will drop off some like the unconscious masla. Are you with me? Are you clear on that? So one is knowing the masla, and one is know what the author is saying. So what we say, even though Sahib say, well, sahih. Remember, whenever you see hada sahih, hada sah, kila, qala, you automatically know there is ikhtilaf in this masla. I need to check more of it. You understood? So again, before we move on, I'll repeat. According to Sahib Hidayah, even if you miss 6 and more salahs due to inability of ima, but because you are mufiq, you are conscious, you are still to make qadha. But as I said, what I read in the Sharia, no. Once this is similar to unconscious. If you're unconscious for 6 salah or more, the qadha drops off. So same thing here. The preferred is if you can't make imam for 6 salah or more, the qadha drops off, right? So coming back to Sahib Hidayah, Sahib Hidayah saying if it is 6 salah or more, still, but you have presence of mind, still you have to make qadha. He's saying, لأنه يفهم مضموم الخطاب. He say, look here, even though you can't read salah, and you are six salah more, but you still can understand. You got your presence of mind. So that means that the order of reading salah is still directed to you. The order of salah is still, because Allah Ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina inna salata kana al kitaba mawquta aqimu salata. So that amr is still directed to you. Although you can't give expression, you can't answer that commandment at this point in time, but it is still directed to you. It is still directed to you. Does it say, لأنه, because this person, that means six salat and more, يفهم مضموم الخطاب, right? Or يفهم, he understands the subject of the address to you. بخلاف المغمى عليه, contrary to the person who is unconscious. He say, no, you cannot compare this to the masla of the person who is unconscious, because the unconscious person, he's don't know what's happening. So when that amr from Shariat comes that you have to read salah, he don't know about it. So, and now it's like for many salah, so he will be maaf, you understood? Okay, read the next ibarat.
الرحيم وإن قدر على القيام ولم يقدر على الركوع والسجود لم يشغله القيام ويصلي قائدا يوجئ إيماء أن ركنية القيام للتوسل به إلى السجدة لما فيها من نهاية التقديم، فإذا كان لا يتعقب السجود لا يكون ركنا
فيتخير
والأفضل هو الإيماء قائدا.
Okay, this is a very interesting masala, important masala. I'll explain it to you, but we won't do the text. They say in Sia, we done this, that qiyam is a rukn of salah, and without a rukn, salah is not done. But say, for example, a person, he cannot make ruku or sajda. He cannot make ruku. He got some serious back problem, right? Maybe his back can't bend, whatever, Allah Ta'ala protect. Then qiyam will drop off from him. Why? Because the main reason why you have to make qiyam is so that you go into ruku and you express your humility to Allah Ta'ala. If I was standing, but I'm going low down and I'm making myself low in front of Allah Ta'ala. You understand what I'm saying? But since he cannot make ruku and sajda, there's no need for him to make the qiyam. That person who cannot make ruku and sajda, so how will he make ruku? He make it with ima. So qiyam also falls off. So if you cannot make ruku and sajda, it's not necessary for you to stand and read salah. You can sit and read. For the time being, let's take it like this. The asal is to sit on the ground. So what he's saying is, again, in brief, I'll tell you, if you cannot make ruku and sajda on the ground, then you should sit flat on the ground in tashahhud position and read your salah. And for ruku, you just bend, and for sajda, you bend more. That is the crux of that whole text. I'll repeat it. The crux of the text is this: if you cannot go down into ruku in sajda, you got some serious back problem where you can't bend, then you will sit on the ground and your ruku will be bending a little bit. And but yes, if you still want to stand and read, it will be fine. As you mentioned in the kitab, your salah will be like you stand and read, and from a standing position, you bend a little bit for ruku, and then for sajda, you bend a bit more. That will be fine. It will be in place, but it's better to sit. Now, I told you, this is something also that we need to speak to the people. Well, if you go to the masjid, you see there's a whole lot of chairs here. You almost think these are pews of a church. You go to that masjid taqwa, they got the whole section there. Now, yes, if a person genuinely, can't sit on the ground, then we say you sit on a chair. But many of these people, they can sit on the ground and read salah. It's just laziness that they're sitting on a chair. So this is something that the ulama, even the mothers and the ladies at home, you need to explain that just because you can't stand and read salah or you can't make ruku, doesn't mean you must sit on a chair. You must first try to sit on the ground. And although there's one alim he's from Joburg, Roshni. He's been doing research on this. He's been writing a whole book. And according to him, he says from the fatwas he got, he said if a person can sit on the ground and read salah, and they sit on a chair, the salah is not valid. Although maybe all the muftis don't give fatwa on this here. But this shows you, if you can sit on the ground, you must sit on the ground. Don't go to the chair. Only if you are totally unable to sit on the ground. So sit on the ground. So obviously, if you can't stand, you sit on the ground. and you make a full ruku and a full sajda. And if you can't sit, if you make a full ruku and full sajda, you sit on the ground, you bend a little for the ruku, you bend a little for the sajda. And if that is not possible, now only you will go to the chair. So the chair is your fourth thing. First is standing. Then it is sitting and making a full ruku and sajda. If that's not possible, then you sit and you make imam with your ruku and sajda. And then if that's not possible, now as your fourth option is to go to the chair. So this is important. There are a lot of people that are going from qiyam or from standing straight to the chair without exploring to sit on the ground and make a full ruku and sajda. And if that's not possible, to sit and make with imam. So some muftis are saying they're so strict. They even say that if you can sit on the ground and you can make your full ruku and sajda, or even if you can sit on the ground and you can make ruku at imam, they say your salah on your chair is not valid. But the fatwa is not on that. But I mean, the fact that the mufti can say that shows you the importance that you have to first explore the ground before you go to the chair. So we'll do this text tomorrow, inshallah. Stop there. Subhanallah.